Hello, I'm Dave. Welcome to my Technical Notes channel. This is the relatively new Wemos or Lolin 1.4 inch TFT for the SP8266 or 32. Here's the board. It's a 1.4 inch 128 pixel by 128 pixel full color 16-bit color, access to the SPI bus on the bottom edge. At the back of the board are the pre-soldered pins that are soldered directly for the Wemos D1 Mini or the MHT1 Live, a SPI center connector and the edge connector, and also pads that give access to all of the data pins as well for the display. So in effect there are four connection types available to you. Here's a Wemos D1 Mini. Insert the display. I've already programmed the board for the example, and there it is running through. Hardware SPI, quick. Here's an MHT Live ESP32. Inserted the display into the same Wemos D1 Mini format pins that are there, and running the same example code. Out of interest, there's the timing for the two boards about 2 seconds faster on the ESP32. I expect the SPI bus speeds to be the same. Back of the board then in more detail are the type 1 connector, pre-soldered directly for the Wemos D1 Mini, so it can insert directly into the board in its standard configuration, or the MHT Live. The type 2 connector are for cables which you can freely wire over to another board, and then on a so-called type 3 connection is the SH 1.0 1mm pitch, which has access to all of the SPI connections on the display. You can wire it up via an adapter board that they sell, or wire it over with a ribbon cable over to, for example, a D32 Pro version 2, which now includes the same connector type, so that's easy to connect. In terms of features and connections, again, there it is in more detail. The driver IC there's a Adafruit driver for that, freely available. These are the pins that are used on the display. They're all fixed because the PCB is fixed, so it doesn't leave a lot of room for variability, but I've included those by default. The TFT LED you can control via a spare data pin, and therefore control the brightness by pulse width modulation. And for the ESP32 Wemos D1 alternative, the MHT ET Live D1 Mini, those are the pin connections required, and I've shown those in the code, and very little to say other than that it is pin compatible on that inner row of pins, and you can get the display running very quickly. So a nice neat pluggable color TFT 128 by 128 pixel 18-bit color. Use it on the Wemos D1 Mini or the MHT Live Mini, the ESP32 variant. You can adjust the backlight via a spare data pin using pulse width modulation. It's relatively low cost. Cost me $4 from AliExpress, £3.16 UK money. I think you'll find that's quite a useful display to quickly add fast display graphics to your project. I hope you found this technical note interesting and useful.